My name is Terrence O'Brien Henderson, and I am the technical designer for apparel and hard goods here at Kotis. And welcome to the trend forecast for 2026. Today, I invite you to join me as I look at some of the latest runway shows and looks from those shows to sort of get an idea of where we could be going for 2026 on the fashion zeitgeist. First up, we have the tracksuit. The tracksuit continues to thrive on runways. From the new novel pattern manipulations and gorpcore aesthetics, and to using quilted fabrics, the tracksuit is the springboard to the latest ideas. So we have here, 6 different tracksuits, all, we see a lot of tracksuits that fully work. So it's a full look. You have the top and the bottom both matching really well. So yeah, definitely the fundamentals of the tracksuit also are translating to different parts of different garments. But again, the tracksuit is not going anywhere. The polo. Brands continuously use polos to showcase their points of view while being approachable for modern sensibilities. The latest in the fashion mixes bold color textures and wide stripes. This year, we see something a little bit more toned down, but the bold lines have been amped up and the color combinations are still very interesting. And again, between these two, you could definitely see a very modern and very cool polo that would really showcase a brand's coloring and logos. Denim. The Canadian tuxedo continues to trend, fresh with a late 80s, early 90s flair. Dark denim acid wash or distress, as long as it's relaxed and with some really cool stitching, it's definitely in. And that's the one thing I always try to tell our designers here, and the fun that you can have with stitching and paneling and then decorative stitching and then contrasting thread stitching is that it really adds something to the fabric. So I know that we don't do a lot of denim here at all. We could if we wanted to, but just think about the idea of the distress. But really cool that denim is trending, especially full denim looks, and that the peplum is probably back. Embroidery. Embroidery, traditionally used for delicate decorating, is showing up in menswear in unique ways. Floral embroidery in soft colors and heavy graphic patches were spotted in many collections. So I'm bringing you 6 looks from 6 different collections where the embroidery really showcased and really showed up. I also want to point out this really cool hoodie here with all these patches on it that looks very much like they were collecting all of them. But, it comes with a brand. So it could be interesting to play with the idea of making things look like it's more of a homemade or it's more authentic to the customer by sort of breaking out and making it feel a little bit more scattered or a little bit more haphazardly placed, but it's all natural design. The beanie. Whether it's a modern, sleek vibe or a whimsical exaggeration, beanies were popping up everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I had to dial this down. Color, knit, style, size, it's all a personal styling choice, but beanies are trending and hot. And as you can see, I've got 6 really interesting showcases of the beanie on the runway or in fashion presentations. It's very interesting how each one either sort of is a contrast, highlighting something against the garment, or it's almost built like it's built into the garment, whether it's color or texture. Know that if you're wearing a beanie out here in real life, that you are on trend, believe it or not. It's good to see that something that we do here all the time at Kotis is definitely on trend. Once again, plaids. Plaids are always a part of the fashion landscape. This year, we see the check shrinking in size. And when I say check, I mean the actual size of the repeat of the plaid. Full plaid looks are still trending. And while we don't necessarily see the full plaid look, that's maybe something we don't do very often. It's very cool for the runway and it's very dynamic to see a full plaid look walking. I think there's a lot of play on still the tonal looks or plaids that are that aren't too loud and aren't too busy, and you have plaids like this that are showing up that are a little bit more contrasting. Again, plaids will always be interesting to see how the designers use them in different ways each year. Quilted. Designers continue to explore quilting in new concepts. While, as you can see, the volume is shrinking in the amount of puffiness that is included in the quilted looks. I think last year and the year before that, we had some really outrageously voluminous looks. So yeah, quilting is still here. We do see it's shrinking just a bit, but don't be afraid. Quilting is still going to be very popular. Stripes, striped up and striped out. While last year we saw more floral prints and polka dots, this year's collections featured a lot more stripes. No matter if it was horizontal or vertical, the stripes are bold and in full effect. So the trickle down, I think this is a really good example of the trickle down. You know, if you think of this right here in a hoodie, right? So you have your hood here, and I can draw better than this, I promise. So you have that beautiful style on here, right? So you come in and cut it right there. And let's say this is your kangaroo pocket. I love using hoodies as a way to showcase the trickle down. So you have that. And then here, you know, this could be a stripe, bop, 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 bop. And then this could be a stripe, or this could be the stripe, or the stripe could be here. But that's a beautiful way. I just absolutely love this beautiful style line here in the panel work right here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And again, that echoes this sort of direction is echoed here as well. You can see that directional there. It's just a little bit lower, but it's calling to that. The color of, I personally think ecru is the color of the year. I saw it everywhere on the runway, and you've seen it in previous slides. You know, it was a standout color and could be the new fashion neutral that navy and gray once was. We saw a lot of navy in the past as the neutral, the gray as the neutral, and the new neutral is always an interesting place to place a color. The color represents simplicity and naturalness, a return to nature, and hints at the growing nautical theme on the fashion horizon. I saw some forecasts, different projects that I follow on social media talking about how there's a sort of a beach aesthetic coming. As we just launched our Kotis hoodie in the same shade. So we obviously are unconsciously on brand, and it feels good when, as a fashion person, to always know that even when I'm not checking for the brands, I'm checking for the trends, I'm on trend. So that feels really good. Gradient, faded fun, low to high, high to low, or color to color. The gradient effect showed up in several collections. Is it distressed? Is it dip dye? No matter, it's chic. These two obviously can translate and trickle down to some of the things that we do here at Kotis, but this one could obviously be to the same thing where we have a color that goes to the hem, or let's say that color is here and all the color is going to a sort of imaginary line that's there, and it sort of fades out to another color or lack of color. Very, very cool here. And this is the same effect here with the cuffs and this big, beautiful print across it. Just really cool. And then we see this where it's just on the edge and it's chic, but it also looks a little faded, right? And then you have something, again, very luxe, very red carpety, you know, kind of a look here, the sheer dress, which is, again, it's not something that we would do, but I just want to showcase the different ways that the gradient and color dip dyeing and the way that color is affecting and being presented on the runway. I want to also take a chance to shout out the viral trend that's happened since I started recording the video, and that's the quarter zip trend. You know, a lot of these looks and a lot of the looks that I've pulled come from the recent runway shows. And with fashion, sometimes a trend is so hot and so quick to be adopted by a group of people that especially in today's time when a post can go around the world faster than a collection. But we've always had really good success at Kotis with our quarter zips, and our full zips. So we are always in the trend. And that concludes the trend forecast for 2026. My name is Terrence O'Brien Henderson. I am the technical designer of apparel and hard goods. Remember, here at Kotis, we always fight for better. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.